Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Brennan Lee with Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. In this video, I want to talk to you about the perfect relationship. Okay, great. Now, to be clear, in this video, I'm specifically talking about what I assume most people think about when they say relationship, and that's like an intimate relationship or like the perfect relationship. We do a whole workshop on communication and relationship, but that's a whole nother deal, and we look into a relationship itself. In this case, I'm talking about the perfect intimate relationship. Okay? Now, I got some bad news and I got some good news. Okay? The bad news is there is no such thing as a perfect relationship. It doesn't exist. Sorry. I'm also not sorry. The good news is you can have a perfect relationship, and as far as I can tell, there's only one way to do that. That is, you let the relationship be exactly the way it is and notice and recognize that the way it is right now is already perfect. See, because perfection doesn't exist. Not in the way that you and I think of it existing. We usually think that perfection is something that is to be attained later or somewhere else, or it's out there for me to get. And this is false. That's not where perfection exists. That's not how it happens. Now, one of the things in my experience right now that's running counter to that statement, or that bold statement, is when I consider myself, my own martial arts training. Getting a little off topic here, but I think it'll come back around, is I train martial arts and I'm training a technique, right? And I'm looking for the perfect technique, and I can tell that my technique is not perfect right now. But I think in this case, the perfection of which I seek is only in relationship to how I assess I do when I do the technique. Like, you know, say I'm boxing or something, it's like boom, 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 I'm moving, and then bingo, there's the perfect punch at the perfect time. But the only way that punch gets to be the perfect punch and at the perfect time is in relationship to somebody else. It only happens in relationship. There is no perfect punch that exists somewhere. Yet the circumstances can be as if aligned perfectly to that punch. And then I've achieved perfection. But then in the next instant, it's gone. Or that opportunity is gone and some such. So there does seem to be an aspect of relationship that works this way. Okay, but in terms of perfection or having a perfect relationship, no, that is never going to happen. I know, I've tried to have it happen. And it can happen immediately. Simply by recognizing that the relationship is perfect exactly the way it is. Whether you're having a good time or a bad one. Whether you're relating well or you're relating poorly. Because that's how it will happen. You will have periods where things are good and periods where things are bad. Quick FYI, you cannot have good without bad. They exist together. So no matter what you do, you're going to have this good and bad, or these ups and downs. And then you might try to think, well, a perfect relationship is one where I get what I want all the time. And in the context of intimate relationships, is that going to work? You get what you want all the time. Pretty soon, you're going to get what you want, get what you want, get what you want, get what you want. You'll get tired with getting what you want all the time. And you'll be like, oh, well, I have to get more of what I want. Well, we notice that doesn't work either. Like, you ever tried to eat say you like sugary candy. You know, I remember one time when I was really young eating these like Sour Patch Kids or some kind of sour candy. I loved it. It was so good. So I ate more of it, and I loved it. It was so good. I kept eating it. And then eventually I got sick. See? So it's like there seems to be a moderation aspect. You get some good, you get some bad, and you balance the two, and that seems to be the way to make a fulfilling relationship. But a perfect one? Where? Where is that? Where is that? You tell me. You tell me. What is a perfect relationship? Where is the perfection? Go find me some. If there was such a thing as a perfect relationship, don't you think people would have that? You might be like, well, yeah, I see pictures on Instagram. It's like a perfect relationship. Like, right. You might, okay, Instagram, this day and age, if this video is for some reason like 50 years in the future and people are watching this, which I'd be surprised, Instagram was a thing that happened 50 years ago, okay? It's happening now. It's 2020. You know, it's this thing, and you scroll on the phone, people look at images of like perfect people. You want to start feeling really bad about yourself, start scrolling some Instagram. You'll see people that have more than you, better lives than you, better relationships than you, the perfect relationship. Yeah? But I bet if you went into their life for real, you'd find that they're just assholes like everybody else. And they have their ups and downs. And they probably even try to think their relationship is perfect. It's probably not. Have you ever seen one? I haven't. Okay? And my point with the Instagram that you should also know is it's an image. It's image. It's all about image, outward appearance. You know, you can't tell by looking at Instagram if that person, like, do they beat their spouse? You don't know. Just saying. Okay? So this is like, I'm trying to hit this from a few different angles where it's like you're looking for perfection. Where do you go to find that stuff? And I'm telling you that the perfection is existing right here, right now. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And it only exists if you let it be exactly the way it is and you recognize that it can't be any other way. That is the way it is. It's perfect, just like that. Warts and all. That's how you have the perfect relationship. Okay? So now there may be another aspect. So that, good, we just handled perfection. Good, you're already perfect exactly the way you are, and you know how to do that now. Wonderful. Glad to help. Okay? Now, you might have in a relationship something like, well, it should be another way. Well, I like it like this, but he should be like this. Or, oh, I like her, but, you see, I don't like that but word. It's like, I like her, but, just an aside, if you use the word but, whatever you've previously said before the word but, you negate. So if you want to speak more inclusively, I suggest using the word and, just an aside. I don't like her, I like her, but I wish she could be a little different. See? So there, I want to invite you to consider the domain of your experience that we call, in Cheng Shin, we call it ideals, which is the shoulds and shouldn'ts of your experience. Like he should, some of the stuff I hear in relationship to intimate relationships, like he should just know what I want. She should be able to handle her emotions all on her own. He should recognize that I'm feeling bad and know what to do without me telling him. Whatever. There's a lot of stuff like shoulds and shouldn'ts in intimate relationships, and I want you to notice what that does to your relationship. What does it do when you have that they should be a certain way? One thing to consider is that in order for you to even have it be possible that they should be some other way, is that you don't like the way they are now. Like if I take myself as an example, it's like if I have a certain image of myself and I think my image should be different, that means I am at odds with the image that is presently here. That means I am at odds if there is a should and shouldn't. See, I shouldn't act like this. I should act like this. Now that's different from choosing to act a certain way. Like, say I'm disciplined to a certain level. I may have something like a should, like I should be disciplined better. That's different than simply training to be more disciplined. The should aspect is the one where I beat myself up because I'm not more disciplined, or some such like that. Whereas if I am going to just take action, be more disciplined, that's different than if I beat myself up for not being more disciplined. You see how beating myself up for not being disciplined is different than just trying to be disciplined? They're different activities. You see, so I'm not saying that if you, I'm having trouble using my lips to get this across to you, but what I'm trying to say is that people have some sort of thing where if I take away the shoulds and shouldn'ts, I shouldn't be that way, then I'll never make any improvements. And that's just fucking false. You can just decide to improve something about yourself. Should or shouldn't be damned. Like, that's not necessary. And then I can hear you bitching about it in my mind, like, yeah, well, I don't know how to do that. Or yeah, well, how do I do that? I need motivation. No, you just need to do it. Okay? You don't even need motivation. You just need to fucking get off your ass and do that. And then you will. All right? So I'm way off track now, but do you get what I'm saying? So I wanted to confront a little bit this idea of ideals. I wanted to invite you to consider this world where, if, bringing it back to intimate relationships, if you are with your partner and you think they should be some other way, you should notice that then you're not accepting them the way they are. Or you could accept them the way they are and have that they should be some other way and accept that too. Then it's perfect just like that. And then, as far as I can tell, what I'm hearing or imagining other people are going to be hearing, listening to this, well, then how do I do it? We'll get the how questions, or like, how can I act this out and be better in my relationships? You see, and that this is not a domain that I am good at advising people. Okay, so I want you to recognize that. I try to stay away from, and I'm about to give you some advice, but I want to forewarn you that my advice should be taken with a grain of salt, at least in this case. And remember that if I don't want to tell you how to live your life. This is one major thing that we do here in Cheng Shin. It's like, I'm not going to tell you there is no right way to live. There are no rules about how to live life. There's no rule book about how to do it. Okay? You need to figure that out for yourself. Because if you just believe me, then you'll end up with a set of beliefs, and that doesn't do anybody any good. Okay? Now, maybe you have a set of beliefs that you feel good about. Good, but I don't give a shit about that. Okay? That's a totally different matter. I'm talking about you figuring these things out for yourself. That is my invitation. I believe it's way more powerful. See, there's a belief, but check it out. Okay? So now, you're like, well, how do I have a good relationship? Well, it seems to me, one, you recognize there is no perfect relationship other than what exists right now. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, some things that I feel help develop a powerful relationship, a fulfilling relationship, a relationship that is workable and effective, which means, and how am I assessing effectiveness in this case? Well, both people are moving perhaps toward a common goal, or at least a common understanding, so that they can relate well to each other and do the life thing. But how you do that is up to you. However, some things that I think help are, one, good communication. And real communication. What I mean by that is being able to get your experience across to somebody else and have them actually grasp it. That's one thing. Honesty. Being able to tell the truth about what's going on with you, and they tell the truth about what's going on with them. And then you're relating to what's really going on between the two of you, not some idea of what's going on or some image about what's going on. Like, oh, if I tell a lie or something, then you relate to the lie, you're not relating to me anymore. Or if I pretend something, then you're relating to a pretense, you're not relating to me. So then honesty might be a valuable tool there. That's pretty much it, honesty and communication. And then I do think it's useful to create something that you can work towards, or some sort of purpose for the relating that then you can align with. and a purpose that isn't just a self-fulfilling agenda, like something that's bigger than you. I do believe that is also useful and empowering to the individual. Okay? Or you don't have to do that. You can do a completely self-serving agenda that moves towards only you getting your needs met at the exclusion of other people, and just see how that goes. I mean, it's you can obviously see I've got a bias one way or another, but that agenda stuff is going to occur naturally anyway, because that's very powerful. At least that's the way it seems to me. In any case, okay, I feel like rambling on here a little bit. We do a workshop. It's called the Communication Relationship Workshop. It's very powerful in these domains. Not in the how-to, but in understanding what relationship is. That's where it gets its power. And then you decide how you want the relationship to unfold. So you're welcome to check that out. This is Brendan Lee with Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. If you want to get serious, bam, check the links in the description. Come sign up, check out my website, check out what we do. Like and subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. I want to serve you and continue to serve you going forward. I hope this has been of some value. Till next time. Go make that perfect relationship happen. Okay. Much love.